Hey friends, this is JB with the 14-Day Wisdom Challenge show, and here we go. Man, we are moving. We just had a huge episode yesterday, and that's almost one of those that you kind of got to like deep breath, compress, deep breath. I mean, you could almost hang on yesterday's episode for like a whole week. So much important stuff there. Hope you saw it. I hope you saw it. But nonetheless, let me ask you, my friends, where are you in your journey? Where are you on your track, on your 14-Day Wisdom Challenge program? Are you on day 1? Are you on day 14? What's going on? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about how you're going to plan and pour into this. All right. Where are you gonna fit this in on your schedule? Are you gonna display something? Maybe your schedule's so frantic and crazy right now, you're like, I don't know what to do. If that's the case, you need to pour right into this and prioritize your schedule. When you prioritize your schedule, you will find that this is in your schedule. You forward plan. You're like, hey, look, you're getting towards the end of the day. You want to start planning your next day. I tell you what, when you get about 2/3 the way, 3/4 the way with your day today, which for most of us, this is going to be in the evening time, you want to stop right there and get your planning for the next day already. Start writing it down. Writing it down. They say that works. I don't know if it's the writing, but I think it's the planning and the conscious awareness, and to actually put a period at a part of your day where you're putting your plan in place for the very next day. I want you to get this and get it into your life as part for just 14 days. I know that part of the instructions, get back to the instructions if you're not familiar with them. I realize that part of the instruction says, hey, look, if you miss, you got to start over. I prefer you not to start over, but that's also part of the plan, because if you can get this locked and loaded with 14 days solid, you've already displaced your schedule. You've compressed it. By putting one more small item in your day and something conscious where you got to say, I got to do something morning, I got to do something night, I got to do something midday and night, then that forces you to put a prioritization in your schedule, okay? Right there, there's value. Right there, there's wisdom, because it's getting you to take accountability for your time, okay? The Lord has given us all kinds of time in our life, but guess what? We've got to use it wisely. We've got to redeem the day time, because the days are evil, my friends, right? Isn't that what it says? So now, where are you? You got to figure that out. This is huge. Now today we're still in 1 Corinthians, and we're in chapter 2, verse 1. This looks like it's the end of our wisdom journey in the New Testament pertaining to the word wisdom. Okay, that doesn't mean we're not going to stay in here tomorrow, but stay tuned to find out where we go. Now, I want you to stay in this. Now, we're going to just kick this off, and we are moving, excuse me, proclaiming Christ crucified. That's huge. Now, if you're not a believer in Christ, this is going to be a tough one for you. You may not understand it. And all I say to you is read through it, okay? And just do what you're supposed to do, okay? Now, if you're not a believer like JB, how can I say this? I'm not being honest with myself. Just say, hey, look, if you're sharing with someone, you can say, Christians believe this, and this is what they believe, okay? But you don't have to do that, because there's other stuff in here besides this. But nonetheless, if you are a Christian, this is going to be a magnifier for you, because for the people who are believers, the step of proclaiming Christ crucified is actually part of your mission statement, okay? Now, if you're a Muslim, you're going to probably have problems with this, because some of your leaders believe differently, and they're teaching you differently. And nonetheless, this is part of the New Testament. So find out what you feel about 1 Corinthians. Now, for everyone else, just jump on this thing. Okay, when I came to you, brothers, did not come proclaiming to you the testimony of God with lofty speech and wisdom. They're not JB trying to give you all this extra stuff, or he wasn't in that particular instance. I think that there was some skill in that way, but he's just saying, look, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling you what I know. Okay? For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. He's just sharing. He's trying to say, hey, look, here are the facts. Here's what all the people in that day have testified to. Give it a shout. Give it a shot. Share it out. Share it out is what I meant to say. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and much trembling. He himself, admittedly, in fear. Okay? Who's First Corinthians here? I mean, who is actually? I want to make sure I'm getting this right. We've got Ephesians, Philippians, Corinthians. Where are you, Corinthians here? All right, First Corinthians. Getting there. I believe this is Paul, but I don't know. A lot of people who are Muslims, Islamists, kind of people like that, they really have a tough time with Paul. But I would encourage you to read your Quran if that's who you think that you are. I've got a friend, his name is David Wood. He's online, and I tell you what, when he shares about the Quran, is very disturbing in terms of the fact that many people are not reading it who profess to be Muslim. And if you were, you would find some problems in there. Paul was the one who lettered the First Corinthians, or at least I'm not sure if he penned it, but that's the author. Now, let's get moving on this. And my speech and my message were not plausible words of wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and power, so that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. So he's like, hey, look, I just basically opened myself up. I said, Lord, I'm just going to share. I'm going to share what I've come to share. And that sharing is essentially the truth, just the facts. And let you do your thing, God. I'm not here to browbeat people or to persuade them with interesting words and to give you 5 easy steps to salvation. No, he said, look, I am just simply sharing what I know, and then just like you, I'm like shocked, but I'm just going to share. And you know what? That's a lot of times, keep it super simple, okay? That's the KISS operation, right? Keep it super simple, and you're going to find that when needed, the Lord's going to be with you. Now, that's not saying that if you have trouble speaking, you shouldn't join your Toastmasters. You shouldn't know how to prepare arguments in sort of a way that's correct and people are going to receive it, or to trim down your words in a way that is going to be efficient. I'm not saying that. Those are good techniques. The God that we know gives us wisdom to learn and to understand improved forms of communication. Okay, that should be done. But when it comes down to it, when you're trying to share the word, the gospel, you want to keep it super simple, stick with the facts, let the Spirit move on you and move to them, okay? You may have some eloquent words that the Lord puts on you, but don't go in there like this is like my canned speech, okay, necessarily. You may have a speech, you may have a presentation, you may have a sermon that you need to letter and get on spot on when it comes down to it. Don't get me wrong, I understand preparation is good, but there's going to be points where you've got to let the Lord do his work. Now, don't think that it's you, because the Lord is saying this for the very purpose that he's like saying, hey, look, the Lord's like saying, I will bring people to Christ, and I will do it under my own volition. And so he will use you, and don't get me wrong, but don't you take credit for that, because that's going to be the Lord's doing. I know a lot of people want to say, hey, look, we brought these people these people were brought to Christ maybe through you, but it is the Lord who has done it. So that is power, my friends. That is wisdom. And this wisdom reading starts in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and then we're going to see where we go tomorrow. My friends, get wisdom, get discretion, get insight, get it right now, get it now while you've got it, while you've got the chance. Let's do this.